One of the student is asking cloaca meaning. So many times I told you. So the cloaca is common opening for digestive tract, urinary tract, and reproductive organs. So in few organisms you can find digestive tract open with the anus. So here such kind of anus, so whatever the urethra, such kind of openings are not there. There is a single opening which function all these three things. So for the excretion of undigested food, for the excretion of urine, and for the releasing the gametes or gathering the gametes. So the single opening we call it as a cloaca. Here the first thing is, one of the student is asking, why does larva amphibia is excreting ammonia? Simple, in the larva stage, still their kidneys are not well developed to excrete urea. And the second thing is, development of liver should be required for the excretion of urea. So because of this reason, the larva of amphibians excrete ammonia. And apart from that, you have to remember they evolved from the fishes. So if you see the excretory product, the chief excretory material of the fishes is ammonia. So still they didn't came out of that relation. So early stage of development, if you see, it is in water. There is a plenty of water. Even though ammonia is toxic, still they are going to excrete ammonia only. So they are not having well developed organs like liver and kidneys during the larval stage. So one of the students is asking whether crocodile take birth on land or water. So remember, crocodile is reptile. So which lays eggs. Generally, even it is staying in water, it lays eggs generally on banks, river banks, or you can see on land only. So it lay the eggs and bury them. So because of the natural, whatever the temperature availability is there, so they take birth on land only. Crocodiles are coming out of eggs. Keep it in mind. They are hatchlings. So they take birth on land. Slowly they will move to the water. One of the student is asking about amphibian digestive system. Remember, the amphibians are having complete digestive system. Complete digestive system means similarly like how we are having mammals. So mouth will be there, alimentary canal will be there, intestine, small intestine, large intestine, liver, and only the difference is the anus is opening into cloaca. So here the anus, what we in the human, in case of humans, if you see there is an anus, but here the terminal position of digestive system is opening into common opening called cloaca. Okay. One of the student is asking tympanum. So in case of amphibians, I explained the tympanum is nothing but the middle ear. So if you see the human ear, so here whatever the external ear will be there. So this is the external ear. And the middle ear is called tympanum or eardrum. Here the tympanum membrane will be there. Here in case of reptiles, this external ear is absent, so there will be no direct opening. So reptiles, they can't hear clearly whatever you are saying. So just by vibrations only they can detect the movement of prey and other organisms.
Yes, and they are used for different animals. They are different with chemical structure. Only this is certain. They are excreted for different animals.
Students, one of the student is asking about the difference between urea and uric acid. So here you have to understand it. So all the two things, whatever the things, they are coming from ammonia. So the ammonia, when it is reacting with carbon dioxide in the ornithine cycle, particularly the ornithine cycle, which takes place in liver, which synthesizes the urea, and the urea further chemical metabolized to form the uric acid. So from the ammonia only, all these two things are coming. Keep it in mind. So chemically they are different molecules. Yes, one of the students is asking, anaconda is an example of reptiles. Yes, it is a reptile only, python. See, already we are in the class level classification. So you don't need to go further level. So for the knowledge sake, you can read it. For the weekly test, the portion won't be there. So it's completely NCERT based syllabus only. So I think some of the students are not following the YouTube class properly. Directly you are reading the textbook and asking poikilothermic meaning. So poikilothermic or cold-blooded organisms means the organism which cannot regulate their internal body temperature. Such kind of organisms we can say poikilothermic. So why we are saying cold-blooded organisms? Because they are unable to regulate their internal body temperatures. They have to depend on the external environment. So one of the student is asking why snake opens tongue frequently. Because when it is open the tongue, so immediately when it is keeping inside, there are receptors there. So tactile receptors which can detect the there is an olfaction, smell sensing, at the same time vibration sensing, detect senses will be there in their upper jaw. So to detect that thing, always it will keep outside and keep inside. Again. So the copulatory organs are, students, copulatory organs means the organs which are used for the mating purpose generally. So simple, mating organs. For the mating purpose they are used.
What is cutaneous respiration?
So one of the student is asking cutaneous respiration. So here cutaneous respiration means if the gases exchange is through the skin. In case of amphibians, you can see there is a gases exchange through the skin. Such kind of respiration we are saying cutaneous respiration. Whereas pulmonary respiration means gases exchange with lungs, and branchial means branchial respiration. Three respirations are there. You have to remember majorly the respiration or gases exchange with the gills. Cutaneous means gases exchange with skin. Pulmonary means gases exchange with lungs. Branchial means gases exchange with gills.
Then you finish this side, huh? Reptilian classification, important or not?
So classification for the knowledge purpose, if you want to follow, you can follow other things. But first follow the NCERT books only. Whatever the weekend test you are going to write, it is based on completely NCERT syllabus only. So one of the student is asking about limbless lizard. The example for limbless lizard is Ophisaurus. So Ophisaurus are the limbless lizards. Like similarly, like you can see limbless amphibian, it's Theophis.
What are doctors? Beyond it, only NCERT. In exam, what they look for NCERT. Also some.
In NEET exam, the 99.9% questions they will ask from NCERT only. If you see this year paper in NEET exam, 100% they ask from whatever NCERT textbook.
Reproduction in amphibians. Reproduction in amphibians. Reproduction in amphibians. Reproduction in amphibians.
So one of the students has asked about the reproduction in amphibians. In amphibians, the reproduction is mainly occurs by a sexual reproduction, but this sexual reproduction is occurs through one of the processes called as amplexus process. Through the amplexus process. Amplexus process is mainly brought by the development of the amplexary pad during the breeding season. During the breeding season, the first limb digit of the four limbs, they are mainly developed. Say one of the pad-like structure, which is a soft, spongy ones in the first digit of the four limbs, not hind limbs. It is four limbs. First digit towards its ventral surface. It possessing the one of the amplexary pad. By using this amplexary pad, they are involving in amplexus process. Amplexus process is nothing but it is a pseudo population process. Individual gets stimulated by using the amplexary pad by the male partner. As a result of that, the female individual lays the egg cells in the form of the clusters. The laying the egg cells in the form of clusters is referred as the spawning. Is referred as spawning process. Through the spawning process, they lay the egg cells in the form of clusters. Later on, once the egg cells are laid by a female individual, immediately the male partner releases the sperm cells onto the surface of these egg cells. So results in the fertilization. The fertilization is here is external fertilization, and the development is includes indirect development. Development is indirect.
Difference between cold-blooded and warm-blooded animals. What is the source of poison in snakes? Poison.
The source of poison in poisonous snakes, it is mainly brought by the secretion of the poisonous glands. The poisonous glands, they are present at the base of the at the base of teeth. Usually these individuals, they do not possessing the teeth. So even though the teeth are there, these teeth are gets modified into the poisonous fangs. Okay. So where at the base of these poisonous fangs, there is the presence of the poisonous gland. These poisonous glands are mainly secretes the poison content, results in the release of this poison during when these individuals are bites to the another individual.
Animals and food chamber heart can maintain constant internal body temperature.
So one of the students has asked about the animals which are having the four-chambered heart, whether they are going to be maintain the constant body temperature or not. Yes, they can maintain the constant body temperature. So as you know that the human beings are the mammals. Apart from that mammals, the avians, they are mainly possessing the four-chambered heart. Even though one of the individual belongs to the reptilia, they are mainly possessing the incompletely developed four-chambered heart, that is crocodile. Okay, but in such cases, so whatever the animals, they are possessing the four-chambered heart, they are mainly continuously circulating the blood from the heart to the other parts of the body organs. At the same time, they are also transport the various mineral salts as well as the fluid content as well as the albumin content to the other parts of the body organs. Even though they are also transports the negatively charged protein molecules to the other parts of the body organs or maybe tissues or cells. As a result of that, in the body fluid, so they will maintain constant pH. They maintain constant pH at a particular organs. At a particular organs, they are going to be maintain the particular pH range. Results in maintaining the constant body temperature. That means they are totally maintaining the internal environment condition at its constant level. That is homeostasis.
What do you mean by Ovoviviparity?
So one of the students is asked about the Ovoviviparity. Rattlesnake, and scorpion. The shark, rattlesnake, and scorpion. They mainly produces the egg cells. So once these egg cells are gets fertilized, the fertilized egg cells are the layers, but these egg cells, fertilized egg cells, they are gets retained back into the body cavity. So the whatever the fertilized egg cells are there, these are the single cell diploid in nature. Such type of the fertilized egg cells, they are gets retained back into the body, and these are gets stored in the body cavity, or it might be in the just beneath the dermal layer where peritoneal cavity is there. So they are there. These are gets remains stored, and in such condition, when they are gets retained back into the body, they will not provide extra nourishment to these egg cells, fertilized egg cells, or maybe the embryo. So results in once these are gets hatched within the body cavity, and these are gets eliminate out from the body. The young ones are gets eliminate from the body. Young ones are eliminate from the body. So that is called as ovoviviparity. So as in case of a scorpion, so the once these egg cells are gets hatched within the body, just beneath the dermal layer, whatever the cavity is there. So these some group of the egg cells are there, fertilized egg cells are there. When these are gets hatched, by rupturing the body wall of the scorpion, these young ones are comes out. But as in case of shark, as in case of rattlesnake, directly the young ones are gets eliminated out from the one of the opening, that is through the cloacal opening.
Cold-blooded animals have three-chambered heart. Warm-blooded animals have four-chambered heart.
Yes, so the cold-blooded animals, they are mainly possessing the three-chambered heart, as well as the warm-blooded animals, they are mainly possessing four-chambered heart. But exception case we are going to observe as in case of the crocodile. So even though the crocodiles, they are belong to the cold-blooded, they are belongs to the cold-blooded, but they are possessing incompletely developed four-chambered heart. This is because of the evolutionary history. Okay, during the changes occurs during the evolutionary history, some modification we are going to observe in the internal organs as well as organ systems.
Carapace.
So carapace. So this carapace we are going to observe as in case of the scorpion, as in case of cockroach also. The most of the insects, they are mainly possessing one of the exoskeletal structure, which is mainly made up of the chitin in the form of carapace. In the form of carapace. Say for example, as in case of cockroach, you just beneath the head region. So this is the head region. The first thoracic segment, second thoracic segment, third thoracic segment. Here is the abdominal segments. So where here is the delicate neck is there. In order to protect this delicate neck, one of the exoskeletal structure, which is made up of the chitin substance, it is intermodified into somewhat the carapace. So this is like this structure we are going to observe onto the surface of these cockroach. This is referred as a carapace, which is a dark brownish in color. Which is dark brownish in color. So these remaining abdominal segments are covered by elytra or the tagmina, that is the first pair of wings.
What is the difference between edible and non-edible?
Edible and non-edible things, or maybe the sources. If you observe the edible sources, so these edible sources we can eat, we can intake, by which we are going to get the one of the energy molecule from the more amount of energy molecule we are going to get from these edible things, or maybe edible organisms, or maybe the animals, or maybe might be the plants. That is edible ones. The non-edible ones, which is mainly possessing somewhat the toxic content, or it mainly possessing somewhat the poison content, or it is the soil content, the fruits, or it might be the leaves, or it might be any plant part, or it might be the animal part. We are unable to take, we are unable to intake, we are unable to eat. Those are referred as non-edible things.
Example of poisonous snakes.
Poison snakes. The one of the poison snake is a king cobra. The one of the world most poisonous snake is a black mamba, which we observed these snakes, especially as in case of the Eastern Africa region jungles. The jungles of Eastern Africa, especially in Africa area. So where black mamba, or we are going to observe the why it's referred as black mamba, because when these individuals they are opens their mouth, even the inner part of the mouth lining is mainly possessing the black colored skin covering layer. lining layer. That's why these are referred as the black mamba. So the mamba is one of the name of the local deities. So that's why it is referred as black mamba. So this is one of the highly poisonous snake in the world. Rather than this, the king cobra, even the cobra, so many other snakes are there which are highly poisonous in nature.
Eryx is a snake of known. ERY. Then the difference between where does hatching takes place in female or male in ovoviviparity?
No, viviparous. The hatching is occurs as in case of the female individuals only.
Skin of frog is smooth and slippery. Why?
The skin of frog is sleepy and smooth, slippery is mainly because of the presence of the mucus secreting cells, which are mainly possessing the goblet cells. So these goblet cells, they secrete the excess of mucus content. That's why it is somewhat slippery.
This is not necessarily, I think, the last question. How to test whether how to test whether fish is edible or not?
So for the lack of time, we are going into this.
Session is closed. Drop session is closed.
We will also clarify in the next class.
Can continue to ask doubts in next session. Correct? Doubt session closed. Can continue to ask in the next. Answer. Eryx is a snake, non-poisonous snake. Sir did not answer it. That is the only question. Eryx, ERYX.
One of the student is asking Eryx, ERYX. Eryx
Is a
is
snake or no? It is a snake.
it's a snake and non-poisonous snake.
Okay.
Non-poisonous snake.
Give any more word.